What's up, friends? Stormie Calder here. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the difference between accepting circumstances of pressure versus comfort. So I think there's a wild misunderstanding that there's supposed to be this idea, whether it's spiritually, metaphysically, in personal development, that like if you're not super comfortable all the time, that something's really wrong with you. And our society embraces that idea that if you're not comfortable, relaxed, satiated, watching television all the time, hanging out with friends, got a big house, lots of cars, like that something's not right with you. Now, I want to tackle this in just a few different ways and kind of a little riff here. There's definitely a wild misunderstanding as far as what we think it takes to produce growth. For me, example, without going into detail, I find that if I am not under high pressure stakes and circumstances, that I will not do the things that I need to do, that I will not grow in the ways that I need to grow. And this was reflected to me yesterday because I had a conversation with a really dear friend of mine who was like, I'm just so uncomfortable, but I'm making these big shifts in my life, but I'm so uncomfortable. And I was like, that's how it goes. If you were comfortable, would you ever make these changes? No, you would just sit back and relax. We need these periods of extreme discomfort in order to make the room for what we need to produce in order to become who we need to become for the runway that'll be like either several years ahead in your life or months or whatever the next chapter is going to be is generally built off of a high pressure, high stakes set of events. In spiritual awakening, that's generally like a dark night of the soul, but with less intensity. These circumstances repeat themselves in our lives because the brain and the neurological conditioning really truly only grows under those significant points of pressure. Because if your entire nervous system is not triggered and then rewired in the moment-to-moment process by the adult you running the show, creating the next version of yourself that you want to become, your nervous system never gets rewired. Your brain actually never really expands. Now, I'm not telling you to go seek out dire circumstances in order to grow. What I'm saying is, if you want to change your life, sitting in the pool of comfort is not going to do it. It's actually going to make it harder to make the changes. It's going to make it harder to break out of your shell. Now, you don't have to go find really bad circumstances to jump into to create pressure for yourself in order to grow. What you can do is make periodic leaps when your soul asks you to take a big leap or a big jump or to travel or make a move or write a book or explore yourself, to really place yourself under that pressure of, I'm going to show up every day consistently. I'm going to embrace this. I'm going to make a full-bodied commitment. I'm going to say yes, and I am absolutely not going to back down. And I'm going to allow that pressure to make me so agitated, so uncomfortable that I change. Without the pressure, we will just run back into the previous version of ourselves. Allow yourself to be made by your circumstances. If there are things going on around you that are uncomfortable, like that's okay. In fact, it's preferred because you get to break out and create yourself into the new person, the new version of yourself that you wish to become, the one that can handle the things. Of course, there's a gentle balance to this stuff. When we're creating like neurological resiliency, there are periods of comfort and rest and relaxation. And then there are periods of high pressure, high stress, and where you do need to actually find ways to outperform yourself, outperform your mentality, your emotions, your bodies, and your limitations. I like to think about it like running a marathon, okay? So you make the commitment to run the marathon. If you're at mile 24, you're exhausted. What are you going to do? Give up? Like, that's when the most amount of pressure is applied. That's when you feel the weakest. That's when you feel like you can't handle it. And you know what happens when you push through and allow yourself to stay committed anyway? Even if you have to walk through that finish line, you finish it and you become a new person in the process. Now, through my own personal development, what I've been reflecting on this process for myself is I have become the sort of person, the sort of woman that is either all in or all out. I am a full-bodied yes when I am a yes. I am a full-bodied commitment, and I absolutely do not back down. And it has taken me years to become that person. But what I've noticed, and this was reflected to me because I spoke to a friend yesterday, and they were like, you just commit. And I was like, yeah. And it's taken me years to learn how to do that within myself. When you know what to commit to and you know the life that you want to live and you make that full-bodied yes and you just pursue your goals and dreams regardless of what limitations come up, what feelings and emotions move through your emotional body, what your thoughts are like, and then what other people say about you. Because I promise, when you are breaking through a previous version of yourself, everybody's got a motherfucking opinion about who you are and what you should be doing. When you say yes and you embrace that commitment to the self, you get breakthroughs. You get miraculous circumstances. You get the all of a sudden you're thinking really clearly and you just know who you are and you know your purpose and you know what your life is now because you had the commitment. Your faith is in the commitment. Without the commitment, there are too many ways that you can leave yourself. You can abandon yourself. You can exit the strategy. So I guess my question here, when we're doing this personal development, if you're in this position, the question for you would be, are you committed? Are you a full-bodied yes? Or are you going to back out at the first time there's a problem? Or are you going to say yes to the marathon, the yes to chasing your dreams? And then on mile 18, be like, peace out, can't handle this, my body hurts. And it's like, well, you're either a marathon runner or you're not. Like, you're either the type of version of yourself that you want to be or you're not. Like, there really is no in between. Now, to remove any idea of judgment of shame, I feel like there are many of us that are really committed to our goals and dreams that go at it and then do end up quitting for a moment, you know, at like mile 18 and then go, shoot, I didn't realize I did that. I need to go back. And then we do it again and do it again. You know, the longer you lack your own commitment to yourself and your dreams and the more self-abandonment you practice, which is just like ejecting before you reach what you need, before you get to the end of your finish line, the longer it takes, you guys, because you have to start over again, like from scratch each time. Now, someone like me, like we built up a lot of resiliency along that process. We get very perseverant. And then finally, we commit to the fucking race. We commit to being a marathoner because you have to commit to the identity shift that comes with it. You can't just run a marathon. You are now officially a runner. You are a marathoner. So it's like thinking about yourself in terms of the goal being yours and committing to the goal and then committing to the identity of that person that has that goal. And sprint, dead sprint, don't stop. And when it hurts, take a rest and then figure out how to keep going. And when people tell you you're nuts, say thanks for noticing and keep it moving. That is my 2 cents for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like this video. Drop a comment below. Let me know if it resonated or what you're committing to. Tap the bell for notifications. Until next time, you guys, I will see you later. Alrighty, peace.